I never grasped it before. And I've been around the block a few times when it comes to self-improvement and spiritual matters, not only writing the books, but hanging out with some of the gurus in the field and being an inner world journalist for something like 20 years, and even writing about some of my experiences in a book called Adventures Within. But Dr. Lin was completely different for me because he is a psychotherapist who healed, using Ho'oponopono, an entire ward of convicted mentally ill criminals in Hawaii State Hospital. I had first heard the story about him using Ho'oponopono and healing this entire ward like 3 years ago, and I dismissed it. It was like, how in the world did he do that? That's an urban legend. That's not true. That's a superstition. Somebody made it up. Sounds good, feels good, not fact. Is the way I dismissed it. I heard it again a year later, and I also heard that he had healed all of those people without seeing a single one of them. He did it by going to his office, looking at their charts, and if he saw that in one in particular, which he told me about later, there was a guy who had raped and then murdered this woman and did some terrible things to her. He was totally repulsed by it. Instead of going to the patient and dealing with the patient, he looked at his repulsed feeling. He worked to clear his repulsed feeling. As he was clearing his experience of whatever he was feeling between him and the patient who he had not seen, that patient started to get better. He said that these people were put in shackles on a daily basis, that these people were sedated on a daily basis, that psychologists would come in every 30 days and quit because they could not stand the environment. He went in there and worked for 2 years, and within that 2 years, people started to get better. People who had been sedated no longer had to be sedated. People who had been in shackles no longer had to be in shackles. People who had been put in there for a 7-year time period were being released in 7 months. In 2 years, all of those convicted, mentally ill criminals were pronounced healthy and released. Within 4 years, the entire ward was closed. It remains closed today. Well, I became absolutely mesmerized by this story. I wanted to find this man. And I didn't find him easily, which is surprising because I can usually find things on the internet in nanoseconds. Couldn't find him for weeks. And when I did find him, it was very hard to connect with him. When I finally did connect to him, I just had a brief email relationship with him, and then I asked to talk to him on the phone. From there, after an hour conversation, I booked my first training with him. From there, we booked that dinner, which was February 25th in Austin. Now, at that dinner, I received what I will call the inspiration to do a manifestation weekend. Now, you have to understand how I received it, because this is very important to this whole weekend. It didn't come from me taking a couple existing ideas and saying, oh, I could make some money by having a manifestation weekend. It wasn't in a traditional marketing or creativity environment. If we had a phone book here, I would take it out and I would show you how you can create things laterally by looking in one category in the phone book and then looking in another category in the phone book and seeing how to join the two to create a new product. It's a creativity exercise. It works. You can create new products doing that. That's not where this came from. This came from where I will point up here. It came as if it was descending into me. It was not a thought. It was a feeling. It was a feeling that I'm sitting there having breakfast with him and Narissa and a couple other people on the Sunday after the event, and I just had this thing descend on me that said, do a manifestation weekend. Now that's how I translated it. Those words weren't there. And I thought, I don't want to do a manifestation weekend. I got plenty to do. I'm booked for months. I've got books to write. I got projects to do. I've got other events that I'm going to have to go and participate in. I don't want to do a manifestation weekend. So I waited 3 days to see if it would go away. It didn't go away. So then I thought, okay, money like speed, take action, honor the divine, honor inspiration. I don't know where it's going, but go for the ride, Joe. Buckle up. So I wrote an email, as some of you, even Amy told me, it wasn't your best email, Joe. It was not hypnotic. It was not descriptive. It was not very long. It was basically like, I'm holding a manifestation weekend. If you want to show up, show up. If you don't want to show up, have a nice day. Basically like that. Well, you showed up. You showed up. Is this not amazing? You showed up. I was meditating in my room before coming over here, basically talking to the divine, however you want to describe that. And I said, all right, you told me to bring him here. I got him here.